Welcome to our special ABC drama presentation, The Alien Years. Before we present part 2, a brief reminder of the story so far.
He's a nobody, a penniless foreigner.
He is not! His family have property in South Australia.
Oh, don't be absurd.
Mama, it's true. At Hahndorf near Adelaide. Stefan is going to join them. They're a wealthy family.
If they're wealthy, why is he travelling steerage in a 6-berth cabin?
I don't care how he's travelling. I love him.
I want you to be there when I'm introduced in the Parliament.
Why won't you talk about him?
Because he's gone, Elizabeth. Wherever it is he's going, he's out of your life. You're the one. Jumped ship, did you?
Yes.
Well, if you don't clear out and stop pestering my daughter, I'll get the police and have you arrested. Do you understand that?
Sir, I mean no harm. May I see her?
No, you may not.
I'm also for progress, which means I'm for change. Change which this community needs. I'm for federation of all the states into a commonwealth, and I'm for votes for women.
I ought to be getting home. Will I see you again soon?
Yes.
Good night, Mum.
I sent a message to the Assembly. Where have you been?
What's happened?
She's gone.
What are you talking about?
Elizabeth's gone.
Will you be putting a ring on your finger, Ducky?
Yes, you will. If you can tell me the nearest church, I'll marry her.
Oh, that's nice, dears. Stops the neighbours talking.
I'll have to tell my parents about the baby soon. My father would help us. If he offered, would you accept?
No. It would confirm his opinion that I'm a fortune-hunting Hun.
You leave a forwarding address?
Sorry. But they promised to write to me when the baby's born. Didn't she tell you?
Es freut mich, dich kennenzulernen, Onkel Johann. Tante Hanna? Das ist die Elisabeth.
Hello?
Heinrich. What kind of a name is that?
It was his father's name. So she says. I'll be late tonight. Don't wake dinner.
Stefan! Asking! No!
Good God Almighty. You live in this pigsty?
Mild anemia, shock and exhaustion from the miscarriage. A few days in bed and plenty of rest. I'll give her a tonic.
Tell your uncle that my daughter is leaving this house and that you and the child are going with her. Tell him I bought a piece of land, 5 acres with a house in a place called the Barossa Valley. I believe you know it. Tell him it's far enough away from here for my daughter never to have to see this family again.
I'm sorry, madam. I realise this is a most unwarranted intrusion, but I must find Mr. Patterson. It's been a most dreadful accident.
And now, we hope you enjoy part 2 of The Alien Years.
We've done all we can. She may regain consciousness, but at this stage, no one can say.
Well, everything possible, Charles. No expense spared.
It's her will to live that matters most of all now.
You said you thought it wasn't an accident.
We'll talk about that some other time. Let's first see if she's going to live or die. William.
Hello! Hello! Guten Tag!
Guten Tag! Woo! Wie geht's?
Danny.
Danke.
Okay. Oh.
It's so cold out here.
What a surprise. Oh.
Stefan. Gerhard. Wie geht's? Gut. Not so good news, huh?
What news?
The war in South Africa.
What does it say?
The British fare badly in the Boer War. They took us around to a place called Ladysmith.
So far away, nothing to do with us.
Yeah, except the German government said they support the Boers.
So? We're not ruled by the German government.
I agree with Berta.
Ha!
The other end of the world, Gerhard, stop worrying.
He likes to worry. When everything's going fine and there's nothing to worry about, he worries that it might not last.
So, I am wrong. It is a small war a long way off. The German shops in Adelaide did have their windows smashed last week. People think we Germans want the Boers to win, and they don't like it.
Stop it, Gerhard. Drink your wine.
Good idea.
Prost.
Prost. Prost, yeah. Yes?
Dr. Fairfax, sir.
William?
Drink, Charles.
No, thank you.
Well, the hospital said there's some progress.
It's very slow and too early to tell. But if she does recover, she may not walk again.
When can I see her?
Not for a while.
I've been thinking over what you said about it not being an accident. I don't see how you can say that. I mean, there's no basis for such a statement. I mean, it had to be an accident.
I'm sorry, William. It wasn't the first attempt. 2 months ago, she took an overdose of tablets that I had prescribed to help her sleep.
Why didn't you tell me?
She begged me not to.
Surely I had a right to know.
Since Edith was my patient, I had to take her wishes into account. She's afraid of you, William. She's been afraid for years. She thought you might use this information to have her committed.
Good God.
She's also requested that for the moment you don't visit the hospital.
When can I see her?
I'll tell you, if and when she asks for you. I'm sorry.
Charles, does anyone else know about this previous attempt?
Your staff may have guessed. I hope they're loyal. I'd be careful, William. These things have a way of getting out.
Have you written to Elizabeth?
No, not yet.
You must.
Yes, I know. I was waiting for better news. Now, I don't know how to write to her.
I feel sick about it, Willie. I think I'm to blame.
Rot! Stop talking bloody rot. I won't have you say that.
I'm to blame, not you. Don't you ever say that again.
She knew about us.
She doesn't. Our marriage was over long before you and I ever met. Don't you ever even think that again. You hear me?
My new invention, the Stefan Müller watering system.
What's wrong? What happened? Some stupid people in town threw a stone and
They called us German bastards. They said Australians fight in South Africa and Kaiser Wilhelm sends guns to help the Boers.
Please, it's nothing.
It was a warning. I'm sorry, but it's no longer a small war, a long way off.
Just silly people, forget
She thinks if you don't talk about it, it goes away. But it won't.
But we are not on the Kaiser side.
How do you tell people that?
Pledge our utmost allegiance. Most sincere. Most sincere.
Sincere allegiance.
Yeah.
Most sincere allegiance.
Yeah.
To the Governor of the Colony of South Australia and to Her Gracious Majesty Queen Victoria, we wish to send you an oath of our allegiance and loyalty as German-born citizens, as Lutherans and Australian subjects who have settled and assisted
in the development of this country
and have abided
by the rules and regulations of the government. We, the undersigned, pledge our sincere allegiance to Our Gracious Majesty Queen Victoria.
Thousands sign the oath of loyalty. The paper asks every German family in the state to sign.
We started something. Wonder when Queen Victoria will see it.
I hope soon to put an end to this anti-German.
Took me half the night to compose a suitable letter for Elizabeth. But then I nearly didn't post it.
You've already delayed weeks too long.
Yes, I know, she should be here. But if she is, I'm afraid she'll hear the talk. No one's yet published that it wasn't an accident, but they'd like to.
At least you were able to write and say that Edith will live.
Yes. She'll live. But how am I to live with her after what's happened?
Get up, get up.
My dear chap, we have copies.
I thought some tabloid rag, the gutter press, not members of my own party.
Let's try to be civilized about this. One hopes that your good lady will recover. Unfortunately, there's gossip.
My wife's fall was an accident.
There's talk of an overdose of drugs some months ago.
Another accident?
Our family doctor will explain that she misread the directions.
Of course, one expects one's family doctor to do the decent thing. But the truth is that you have a mistress, and that you're rather careless about that, that your wife has twice attempted suicide. This, I'm afraid, is the end of your political career.
I helped you be elected Premier. The agreement was I'd be a member of your cabinet. I had your promise.
And now, regretfully, I must break it.
Adultery is a delicate matter, William. It upsets the ladies. And while they don't have the vote, they can influence their menfolk. We simply can't afford the luxury of having you on our side.
You pair of bastards.
When your term is up, you won't be nominated again. Why not do the decent thing and resign?
I should.
Good day to you.
Like hell, I'll resign. Just don't count on getting rid of me so easily. Guten Tag.
Gerhard! Is there any news of our competition?
Oh, too early for news. But I have one letter for you. And a bag of sweets for Heinrich.
Oh, you'll spoil him.
Don't forget, you all come to our house for Streuselkuchen on Sunday.
Sunday we'll be there.
Gut. Wiedersehen.
Thank you.
Hello, Edith. Elizabeth wrote. She's coming back. Coming to see you. Welcome home. Excited?
I suppose I am. Going home after all this time.
He'll try and keep you there.
I'll be back. I promise.
Sleep, Daddy.
Wonderful little filly. Amber Jim.
Amber Jim.
Gentlemen, what the hell's this all about, Patterson?
I had a letter requesting a meeting of great importance.
Me too. I'll give you 30 seconds, then I'm off.
You sit there, you bald turd. I don't think we care for your gutter language. Too bloody bad. You're going to have to put up with it and me for a long time to come. If you had any decency, you wouldn't wait to be kicked out. You'd resign like a gentleman.
But I'm not, you see. A gentleman. Sorry. And as for mistresses, it's common knowledge you have one, James. So does Cartwright.
My dear fellow, the difference is you got caught.
So now you fine, upstanding citizens want to put the boot in. It's a matter of morality. Oh, I think you mean expediency. You mob elected me to your safe conservative club and then found out I was for federation and votes for women, things you don't believe in. I became an irritating pimple on the backside of conservative politics.
You're wasting our time. The party's dropped you. The Premier won't have a bar of you.
The Premier will have to change his mind, or I have enough support to change it for him.
Balls.
I have, if you three decide to back me.
Us? Back you? My dear William.
My dear James, I assure you, you will.
You're insane.
No, you'll support me. Not because I want to remain a member here for my wife's sake. Not because my daughter's coming home and I won't have her ashamed of me. Not for any of these reasons, which mean a lot to me and nothing to you. No, you'll support me because if you don't, you three will be out on your asses. You see, I know about the tramway contract.
You pillars of society were the transport subcommittee that gave the new electric tramway extension to Harding Brothers. Harding is your wife's cousin, James. And the three of you are unlisted shareholders, and I can prove it.
You shit.
Bad luck, James. You got caught.
Blackmailing bastard.
Keep your hair on. Nobody's gonna blackmail anyone.
As long as we back you.
I'd say that was it, James. Precisely.
Lizzie.
Heinrich, this is your grandpapa.
Hello, young fella.
Hello. My name is Heinrich.
So it is.
Are you crying, Grandpa?
Certainly not. Men don't cry.
Girls cry.
That's right, but not us men. Can you shake hands?
Yeah. Sad?
No, darling. I'm happy.
If you cry when you're happy, what do you do when you're sad?
I come in. I can't tell you how much it means to have you home again.
I've been exploring. Some things haven't changed.
We have.
Yes.
Your mother's fall. It wasn't an accident.
I had wondered. Don't know why.
Well, best I tell you before somebody else feels obliged to do so. It means a lot to her to have you home again. Please stay as long as you can.
2 months, Papa. I wrote and told you that.
2 months. It's no time at all. Not long enough, Lizzie.
I don't want to argue about it. Not my first night home.
All right. We'll be grateful for whatever time you give us, however brief. That son of yours, he's quite a lad, isn't he? Good night.
Good night.
Guten Abend. Guten Abend. It is written in English. I will read what it says. The British government have read the petition of so-called allegiance signed by the German settlers of the colony of South Australia. We reject it. We rebuke the governor for sending it, and we regard such a petition to Her Majesty as unwarranted presumption. And we do not wish to hear on this matter again. So, this is ours.
Oh! Over here. And to you. Ah, excellent. Oh, good. Now, throw it to me. Oh.
Heinrich! Don't tire Grandmama.
Grandmama's not the least bit tired. When I am, we'll have a sleep, won't we, darling?
Yes.
Ready? Catch! Oh, quickly run after it. Don't let it get away.
Someday, please God, we'll have a proper watering system.
Hey, wie geht's? A letter from Elizabeth.
Not good news.
She wants to stay a while longer.
Brave young men to fight in South Africa, to fight alongside England against the Boer. There is no paradox in this and in my continued and determined support for federation. Yeah. Even now, the diehards, the hidebound, the dull and the unadventurous would have us cry stop, would have us remain a colonial possession of Mother England. Well, let me tell them it is far too late. The people are ready, and it is time now to shed the yoke, to become one people, one nation.
Mr. President, my good friend.
Your papa makes fine speech.
I expect William gave her the newspaper and underlined his speech in red ink. It'll be a big moment in your father's life. Thank you. The last Christmas of the old century. And on January the 1st, 1901, we become Australia. He'd love you to stay for that. To stand with him on the platform. I can't. His mistress certainly can't.
His what?
My darling. He has one. She lives in a house in Paddington. Her name is Martha Lockwood. I've known about her for years.
Years? Poor Mama.
It's never really bothered me. Other things have. Not that.
What things?
Oh, being nobody, being alone in this great, big, empty, awful house, losing you. Stay a little while longer, till after Christmas, please.
Old Tannenbaum, old Tannenbaum, wie tröstet deine Blätter. Du regst in großer Sommerzeit, nur noch im Winter, wenn es schneit. Old Tannenbaum, old Tannenbaum, wie grün sind
Wonderful. Best years.
I'm not so sure this is wise.
I want to show you off. If they look at me, it's only to wonder who's the stuffed shirt with the good-looking sword.
Stuffed shirt? If they'd seen you in my bed an hour ago.
Perhaps an hour from now.
Goodness me. So Elizabeth stayed.
Not my doing, hers.
Surely she must go home soon. Her husband will be upset.
Furious.
You're a terrible man. A true bastard.
And a coward. Edith's so different. She's so content. I dread the day that child goes home.
Good night, sweetheart. Sleep well.
I'll be up later. Now, you.
Don't worry, he's happy.
What? You can't bear a mess. Toys everywhere?
Once. Now I can't bear the thought of them not being there. But I expect you know that.
It's going to storm. Where's Papa?
There's a crisis. He says the British have sent us a jackass as the first Governor-General. Tomorrow's proclamation may be a disaster.
Mr. William Patterson, sir.
Mr. Barton.
Patterson?
Wretched night. Not the weather for a new year or a new century.
Never mind the weather. Sit down. I feel obliged to say I've never particularly cared for you. There have been rumors. And besides, I distrust rich men.
But you need me, sir.
I need you. Our Governor-General is waiting for me, and I have almost enough names to make him change his mind.
Almost.
I need 2 more.
I have 3.
You have more influence than I realized.
I'm a patriot. I believe you would be our best Prime Minister.
And the price?
I said I'm a patriot.
There's always a price.
I enjoy politics, but from now on, the state parliament will be less exciting.
I can't promise you a federal seat.
But there's to be a Senate you can nominate.
I see.
I'm sure you do.
Yes, quite. Well, shall we seek an audience with His Excellency?
It's impossible, Barton. Out of the question.
Difficult, my lord.
I said impossible. I've invited Sir William Lyne as Premier of New South Wales, the senior colony, to form a government and become Prime Minister.
No, Your Excellency.
Beg your pardon?
It is clear under the new Constitution. I have the names. I have a majority.
Damn it, man, it's the 11th hour. Then you,
William Patterson, sir.
Are you a party to this politicking?
I merely wish to avoid embarrassment, my lord.
What embarrassment?
Of Her Majesty's Governor proclaiming the new Commonwealth, but selecting the wrong man to lead it.
It's damned awkward.
Sir William Lyne will not have support to form a government.
You've made your point, man. This is hardly an auspicious start for a new nation. I dare say we're all going to get a good soaking tomorrow. I, John Adrian Louis Hope, 7th Earl of Hopetoun, do proclaim that on this first day of January, in the year of our Lord, 1901, by the grace of Her Majesty, Queen Victoria, that the colonies duly signed and attested shall be federated to form the Commonwealth of Australia. And I do appoint as my Chief Minister, with the authority to form a government, the Right Honourable Edmund Barton.
nervous.
Me too.
Ruff! Ruff!
Who's that? You funny boy.
It's only for a few months. Stefan, try to understand. It meant so much to her.
You had no right. I should have been consulted in
But that
this.
wasn't possible. You weren't there.
You were tricked into this by that father of
Oh, don't be
yours.
so stupid. Stop being so angry. Papa will bring him back to us once the Senate elections are over. That's the agreement. Sorry we're embarrassing you, Gerhard. It's lovely to see you again.
I have the bad hearing. What did you say?
I said I missed you. You and Berta.
Stefan! You can stop being depressed. Where's Heinrich?
Ask her.
It's a lovely night. So tranquil. I've missed nights like this. Will you pour or shall I?
I'm going to bed.
Oh, don't be so bloody juvenile.
Me?
You. He'll be well looked after. He loves her. He wanted to stay there. Prost. Welcome home, Lizzie. So good to have you back. Or didn't you miss me?
Of course I missed you.
Desperately?
Yes.
Is it true what Berta said? You were depressed?
Berta talks too much.
Were you? Why?
I thought you mightn't come back.
Idiot!
All that luxury, so much money, servants to clean, to cook, to make the bed for you. All that excitement of being there at Federation must have been exciting.
Yes, it was.
Plenty of young, available, rich men to eye you.
Oh, lots of them.
Bastards.
Stefan!
What?
Just Stefan. It was exciting.
Being there on the platform, meeting those people, hearing the Earl announce the new Prime Minister, knowing he wanted someone else and they made him change his mind. I wouldn't have missed it for the world. It's something to remember as long as I live. Times when it all seemed so comfortable. You and the Barossa seemed so far away. And I knew how easy Papa would make it for me to stay. But the only thing you have to know is never even for a minute did I want to. Not once. There were no young men. If there had been, they would have been quite seriously disappointed. Why don't you stop lying there and make love with me?
See that bird flying away just now?
Yes?
You know where he's going to?
Africa.
Yes, exactly. Who's that sitting over there?
I don't know.
Should we go and say hello?
Yes. Hello.
Hello. Are you taking your grandfather for a walk?
Yes. My name is Henry.
Oh, is it?
It is now called My Grandpa Said So.
Did he indeed?
Here you are, old man. There's some bread. You go and feed the ducks. Say goodbye to the nice lady.
Bye.
Goodbye, Henry. Does your daughter know
No, what?
that her son is no longer Heinrich?
Well, no grandson of mine is going to be saddled with a German name. Germans are unpopular. They picked the wrong side in the Boer War.
Don't make a speech to me, Willie, dear. Tell Elizabeth.
Don't worry, I intend to.
Mama wrote.
What news?
Heinrich's very well. He's behaving himself and he doesn't miss us a bit.
Spoiled, I suppose.
Probably. Stefan? Whatever happened to our petition?
Oh, that.
Yes, that. What happened?
Oh, never heard.
Didn't we?
I expect the petition got lost and I forgot.
Well, you're a bad liar. I found this. Sigrid told me it says British reject oath of loyalty. Why didn't you tell me?
They treat us in such a way, regard us as inferior aliens, so that when we make an offer from our hearts, they can kick us in the teeth. They forget, you know, Queen Victoria's husband was German. Her own family is from the House of Saxon-Coburg. But ordinary people who pledge allegiance are presumptuous. German bastards. Never mind, the war's over. Pray God there'll never be another one.
The House will hear the Right Honourable, now Senator William Paterson.
Mr. President, I thank you. I leave here with some nostalgia and regret. I shall miss the Right Honourable buffoons opposite. Although I'm assured that there'll be even bigger ratbags in the new Senate. I can hardly leave here without expressing my deep gratitude to the 3 honourable members who so supported me in my career in this Parliament. I refer, of course, to my dear friends, Mr. Cartwright, Mr. Shrewsbury, and Mr. James North.
The honourable members weren't amused.
No.
Senator Paterson, it has a rather grand sound to it. I'll have to show more respect. Ooh. So, when are you off to the Barossa?
Tomorrow.
His parents will be glad to see him.
Edith's gonna miss him like hell.
Yes. And so will you.
Puppy. Puppy. Oh, I think she likes you.
Get off.
Puppy. 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 Oh, no, little one.
Grandpa.
What's this?
A dog.
And where did he come from?
The shop.
Ah, good boy.
He's a girl.
Is he? Well, why don't you take him for a little walk, old chap?
Come on, doggy.
teach you to do that?
He loves animals. You can see he does.
Why now? Today? Edith, he has to go back.
Not yet.
First thing in the morning. The train reservations are made. You know perfectly well.
No.
I promised Elizabeth. As soon as the Senate elections were over.
Please, William.
I've already delayed more than a week.
Please.
He's not our child. He can never be our child. Please don't make it any more difficult.
Tell me what I'll do with the rest of my life when he goes. Tell me that.
Where's Heinrich?
Pa!
Where's he?
Can we talk inside? It's been a long trip. I'd appreciate a drink. I know my driver would.
You didn't bring him.
Father, please answer the question. Where is he?
Can I put the horse out, sir?
Yes, thank you.
Is there an accident? Something happened?
No. I didn't bring him. I've come to plead with you. To beg. And if you were to tell me to go to the devil, I wouldn't blame you. That's good. I had no idea you could produce wine of such quality.
Oh, but Pa.
No, I'm not being polite. That's damn good.
For God's sake, tell us what you want.
Yes. Let him stay with us, even for a short time.
What?
No.
Let me educate him the way you couldn't possibly afford to. I've checked. There's only one school near here. It's a Lutheran college. Now, forgive me if I'm wrong, but don't they teach in German? Let me give him the kind of education you both had. You did, after all, both have the best. I mean, you've done well here, and I congratulate you, but perhaps Heinrich will want a different kind of life. The law, medicine. Without an education, you give him no choice. No choice at all. I'd send him home, you know, every school holiday. I'd send him back to you. Look, I'm not trying to take him from you, just asking you to share him with a woman who's been unhappy most of her life, for which I'm to blame. All right. I'm not much good at begging. Talk it over. Whatever you decide, I'll accept.
This is unfair.
Yes, it is.
You want him home?
Well, of course I do.
Then to hell with education.
You can't just say that. I had a wonderful childhood. Miss Arthur's Academy for Young Ladies.
Not quite the school for Heinrich.
Stefan, that's not exactly what I was getting at.
Any decision, Lizzie? For God's sake, tell me.
Stefan.
Send him home. At Christmas, every long school holiday, give him the best education. And if we ever change our minds, or if his grandmother dies, he'll come back here, to us.
I promise.
Been a week. I'll be home by now.
That's what I was thinking.
I know you will. I still don't know what's best. Would have been easy to say no, he's ours, you can't have him. But on the other hand...
If we were wrong, we will know when he comes home for Christmas.
Yes.
And if he's not happy, or we aren't, he doesn't go back.
Yeah?
Oh, who's this?
Grandpa? Grandpa? Grandpa?
Heinrich! Oh! Did you look after your grandmother while I was away?
Yes?
You did?
Yes.
He stays with us.
Is there anything else, Mum?
Thank you, Mrs. Corbett. I'll ring. And see the nursery windows are shut.
Yes, Mum.
William. Thank you.
Was it difficult?
Very. Times I felt disgusted with myself. Kept wondering if I was doing this for Edith or the boy or just to get her off my back, square my guilty conscience.
You have had a bad few days.
Don't, Martha, I need you. I'm not feeling very proud of myself.
You wanted custody of your grandson. You got it.
By using emotional blackmail against my 23-year-old daughter. What sort of a bastard does that make me? I almost went back, said forget it. But there was Edith. Also, there was you.
Me?
Yes. The Senate's going to be based in Melbourne for the present. That means being there quite often. I want you there with me. Now, don't say it's indiscreet.
No, I wasn't going to. If Edith is content, if she has Henry, she won't be a concern to you. Or care if it becomes more widely known about you and me.
Something like that, yes.
So custody of Henry was rather vital.
Putting the worst possible construction on it, yes.
You're right. You truly are a bastard.
Whoever that is, he's coming here.
Mr. and Mrs. Muller?
Yes?
I'm Harper of Henderson, Hanlon, Potts and Harper, solicitors, North Terrace.
From Adelaide?
Yes, asked to visit you. Thought I'd give my new Didon carriage a bit of a gallop. 8 horsepower. Marvellous.
I've never seen one before.
Wonderful invention. People say they're a flash in the pan, won't last, can't replace the horse. There's 20 of them in Adelaide already, and getting more popular all the time. How do you do?
Oh, how do you do?
How do you do? Well, shall we go and talk, or rather, I'll talk and you listen, eh? Oh, thank you. Now, here we are. One deed of gift and the joint names of Stefan and Elizabeth Muller.
Deed of gift?
The 2-acre field being lot 21, folio 11.
Mr. Harper, what are you talking about?
The field next to your vineyard. Wasn't it for sale?
It was sold.
Indeed it was. You bought it. Or should I say Senator William Patterson acquired it on your behalf.
My father?
Quite. Exactly. I'm also instructed to place to your credit the sum of £500. Oh, yes. Such sum to be expended upon the purchase of new vines and also for the installation of a watering system. So, there we are.
Good God.
Jolly fine cup of tea, Mrs. Muller.
Henry's got the measles.
Oh, poor Henry. Badly?
You'd think the world was coming to an end. Edith's hired day and night nurses and gets bulletins on the hour. You like that?
Yes.
They sent me a case.
Isn't that nice?
I decided to relinquish my deed of trust and put the vineyard in their joint names.
What are you up to, my darling?
Nothing. He's made a fair fist of things. He only needed the chance, really. And he loves her. That's what matters. You think I never do anything without an ulterior motive?
Very rarely.
Miss Eaglesham, can you take a letter?
Yes, Senator.
My dear Elizabeth. And Stefan. That's with an F. My Christmas greetings to you both. Our thanks for the splendid wine. And I'm glad the acquisition of the new field and the water system proved useful. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but Henry has developed a slight chill. No, change that. Heinrich has a slight chill. And although he's fully recovered from the measles, the doctor thinks it would be most unwise if he were to travel this Christmas. I remain your loving father,
my love?
To us, in 1914.
Glückliches neues Jahr! Happy New Year!
Alles Gute, Maja!
Happy New Year. Elisabeth.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Ma.
Happy New Year, Carl.
Carl, Pa. Only one thing would make the New Year perfect. If your brother was here with us.
Happy New Year, Gran.
Thank you, darling. Now, go and join your friends.
Are you sure?
Please.
Sleep tight.
Harry.
She's dying, isn't she?
What?
Gran's dying.
We're all dying from the moment we're born.
I'm not a child, Grandpa, or a fool. Please don't treat me like either.
She has cancer.
How bad?
The doctors can't operate.
Couldn't you have come home? Tonight of all nights?
She doesn't know how ill she is, Harry. It's no kindness to tell her. If I behave as I've always done, it may keep it from her a little longer.
Besides, you prefer to spend New Year's Eve with Martha Lockwood.
If I do, that's none of your damn business.
No, I'm sorry. It isn't.
What happened? I thought you were going to some party.
It'll be on till dawn.
Well, off you go. Enjoy yourself. It's no night for a quarrel.
No. When Gran dies, what happens? To me, I mean.
I made a promise to your mother that you'd go home.
Happy New Year, Grandpa.
Happy New Year, old son.
Schatzi, my feet hurt.
Too much dancing.
Too many big boots stepping on me.
Big boots.
Good God, to think I used to nurse him. He's so big and grown up, Elizabeth.
Did you see him? He picked the prettiest girl in the village and then took her home.
Oh,
Yeah.
she's too young.
An eye for beauty, like his father.
Yeah, shame that Heinrich was here with us.
Sigrid thought he was coming for Christmas.
Yes, we too. Like so many other Christmases, there's so many other years.
Stefan.
What? Harry, they call him. First it was Henry. In Australia, that is too formal. So it became Harry. Heinrich was my father's name. It's not good enough for my son. Sorry. They're friends, they know how it is.
We know. But it's time I took my poor feet home and bathed them.
Yeah, it's late. Feel all tired, huh?
I have to open the apotheke tomorrow. So many people with sore heads needing magic potions, huh?
I have to help you. No, Mr. Medicine.
Wiedersehen, Stefan.
Good night, Stefan.
Prosit Neujahr, Stefan.
Prosit Neujahr.
Ein gutes neues Jahr! You drive carefully, Oscar.
I will. Good night.
Good night.
Hang on.
So I did it again, didn't I?
We both made that mistake years ago. And there's nothing we can do about it, my darling.
Yes.
Oh, come on. 1914 is going to be a wonderful year. Good vintage.
Yes. You should begin each new year the way you wish it to continue.
Why, you're coming to bed. Come on.
Good fireworks tonight, Edith. Did you enjoy them? I telegraphed your mother. She should know by now. I'll write this afternoon and tell her you're upset. To expect you back by the end of this month, perhaps.
If it suits them, and you, Grandpa,
Not a question of suiting me. I made a promise.
just send me back.
3 years, isn't it, since you were back there?
Yes.
I broke a lot of promises, Harry. Told a lot of lies. Every year, Edith cried and begged me not to send you back there. She was afraid your parents would keep you. It was the only thing in the whole damn world I could do for her.
Tell lies?
She loved you.
Yes. It was good to be loved. I'll miss it.
I love you.
I'll go back to the Barossa next week. The sooner the better.
Haven't found anything I like better. I might buy one of those German ones, if there's not a war. I won't stop. Say hello to your parents. I'll write and tell the senator you arrived safely.
Thank you, sir. Goodbye.
Bye.
Heinrich. Harry. In case you've forgotten, I'm your brother. Carl. Welcome home. Well.
Oh, Elizabeth! Guten Tag!
Do you know my son, my eldest son?
Oh, yeah, Heinrich.
Harry. How do you do?
Elisabeth! Heinrich!
Oscar?
Come on.
Thank you.
So, you want to study law, huh?
Yes.
You got good results in high school?
He's bright, Oscar. A scholar, like you.
Written to Adelaide University.
A lawyer, that's nice.
Little Heinrich, I could never imagine such a thing.
So, tell us, Heinrich.
Please, Gerhard, will you call me Harry?
Of course I will. Tell me, Harry, what does your grandfather, the senator, think? Will there be a war?
There can't be a war. Not England or Germany. It isn't possible.
I think it's inevitable.
No, we don't want...
Does the senator think there will be?
Everyone in the East thinks so.
You listen to me. It is not possible. The Kaiser and the King of England are cousins. How could they fight a war? There will be no war.
I pray to God, Oscar.
Germany and England would not be so stupid.
Yeah.
Yes, I heard you. After the next election. Well, don't apologize, you bloody hypocrite. You bastards have been dying to put the boot in now for 15 years, ever since I crossed the floor.
This is so unfair.
It's called politics, Martha. I no longer have the numbers, so after the next election, I'm out.
I'm sorry, Willie. You're going to miss the Senate.
Miss it? Miss that bunch of pie-eating phonies? That bloody old mausoleum?
Yes, I'll miss it. But they have waited a long time to get me. No one's going to change their mind this time.
Forget it. And them.
Yes, I'll try. I suppose I've had a fair enough run, haven't I? Now, here's something more interesting. A letter from Harry.
Is he enjoying it?
Well, he says he is, but I don't know. Reading between the lines, I think he's finding it all a bit strange.
Also halt's doch hoch! Ich weiß schon, was gestern Abend los war.
Oh, na, Mehltau war nicht viel dabei.
Wir alle wissen es. Pass auf, dass es nicht meine Dame ist.
Mensch, ich hab Durst. Das ist doch eine gute Idee. Hol die Flasche, ja?
Freut euch des Lebens, weil noch das Lämpchen blüht. Pflücket die Rose, ehe sie verblüht. Und schafft so gern sich auf. Denn meine Frau ist zu Hause. Also dann setz dich!
Heinrich! Heinrich, komm her! Sit down! Come here, sit down. You don't do hard work before, Heinrich?
No. No, Sigrid.
Freut euch des Lebens, weil noch das Lämpchen blüht. Pflücket die Rose, wie sie verblüht.
Who giveth this woman unto this man?
I do.
And by the power invested in me, I pronounce you man and wife. You may kiss the bride.
Father, this book of Henry Lawson's poems, I lent it to you. The title page is torn out. It was a school prize. Why did you do that, Father?
What did it say, that page?
Ducks of the school, Harry Patterson.
Who in the name of God is Harry Patterson?
I am.
Did your grandfather do that? Call you Patterson? Heinrich Müller wasn't good enough? Too German, too foreign? Did he make you change your name?
I wanted it. I asked him. I had to go to school, Father. Not here in your quaint German valley. In the real world, where they kick the Christ out of Heinrich Müller. Where they accept Harry Patterson. I'm not German, Father. I don't even like them.
Heinrich! That's enough.
What did you come back here for, anyway? It's plain as day you think we're a mob of shysters, hicks and bloody yokels.
All right, Carl, that'll do.
I didn't want to come back.
You don't belong here.
Carl, stop it.
That's enough from both of you.
All I ever heard half my bloody life was bloody Heinrich. Well, every time you got drunk, Pa, you bored the shit out of everyone by talking about him.
Carl, apologise.
Okay. Okay, I'm sorry. But we all know it's true.
Carl is right about one thing. You don't belong here. I expect you already know that. I'll write to your grandfather.
I'm sorry. I did try, Mother.
I know.
Harry. Grandfather?
Mother.
Martha?
Harry, welcome home.
Thank you.
There'll be more fine music later. But first, Mr. James North, your Member of Parliament for this district, is here to say a few words.
Thank you. Friends, allies in this dark hour, young men who will save our nation, I bring you a message from the Prime Minister of Australia. I've just come from the PM and the War Office, and he said to tell you this: keep a good heart and a stiff upper lip. And he said this is a time for heroes, for our patriotic youth to enlist for the glory of Australia. So, gentlemen, all the girls love a soldier. This is the chance for an adventure of a lifetime, to see the world, and to put the fear of God into Kaiser Bill and his filthy hordes. Remember the promise that Australia made to the mother country. To the last man and the last shilling!
No, Harry.
But grandfather...
Not till you're 21.
By then it'll all be over.
Let's hope so.
But everyone wants to go. James North is only saying what the youth of this country already feels. Perhaps that's why he's so popular.
You're underage and I won't give you permission. Perhaps you could ask your parents.
There's no chance my father is going to agree, is there? Not to fight the Germans.
Pour yourself a large brandy and one for me.
Filthy German spy.
Pig.
Oink, oink.
Cheers.
Wiedersehen, Elisabeth. So, he's to use the liniment 3 times a day.
All right, Oscar, thank you.
These young hooligans, larrigans. I'm just glad there were no broken ribs, huh? Did you report it to the police?
No, Carl won't tell us who did it. He says the police aren't interested in protecting people with German names.
He's wrong, Elisabeth. Things will settle down.
Let's hope so.
Bad business, smashing people's windows.
Vandals, stupid kids.
Gerhard thinks it's anti-German feeling.
I keep telling Gerhard this war is nothing to do with us.
Everybody keeps telling Gerhard.
Gerhard, be sensible. We have always lived here peacefully. We do not support the Kaiser, so we have nothing to fear, huh? Don't put ideas in people's heads. Wiedersehen.
Wiedersehen.
Huh?
Yeah, Wiedersehen.
Oscar knows about these things. You listen to him.
I do listen to him. The last time I listened to Oscar, he promised me faithfully there wouldn't be a war.
What? Oh, look, he's here. Look, he's here, our little German friend. Haven't you learned a lesson yet? Let's get up!
say you think you were clever paying them back.
Ah, it stings.
Good, serves you right. We already have a war on the other side of the world. We don't need one in this valley, thank you.
Ma.
Mr. and Mrs. Craig?
Your kid, Mrs. Muller, was the bloody ringleader.
No doubt of that. Are you a party to this, Mrs. Muller?
A party to it?
We've had the doctor. I think we should call the police.
I'm extremely sorry, Mrs. Craig. Was your son badly hurt?
We'd hardly be here if he wasn't.
As badly hurt as mine was a few weeks ago when they all set on him. We had the doctor too. If you want the police, I think we'd agree. I can send for them if you wish.
Very funny.
Why don't you tell your lout to stop his stupid behaviour, and I'll tell mine the same. And please ask yours not to call mine a German spy or a filthy Hun. Point out to him that my son was born here, as I was, and as my father was. Would you like to go home and do that, Mrs. Craig?
I'll tell you one thing, Mrs. Muller. You, mob, had better watch your step.
Mob? And who exactly is you, mob?
Anyone with a German name? Or perhaps you haven't heard.
Heard what?
I could have you lot arrested.
What are you talking about?
Read the papers, Mrs. Muller. The proper newspapers. Not your German rag. We could have you in jail.
Oh, get off our land.
Gladly. Come on, dear.
You're a beauty, Ma. You really told the old cow.
Go inside. Go on, go away and learn some sense.
Ma?
No more fighting back, Carl, do you hear?
Yeah, but...
No more. And when you've had your supper, you can go down to Gerhardt's and see if he knows what they're talking about.
I was arrested. In jail. They're crazy.
Get inside.
The government has proclaimed the War Precautions Act, under which anyone of German origin or with a German name may, on the accusation of any loyal Australian, be taken into custody and questioned. Furthermore, if the authorities so choose, such persons may be liable to arrest and committed to jail without trial.
Afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Can we help you?
I'm here on official business. I have a list here somewhere.
What list?
A list of enemy subjects. Aliens.
What are you talking about?
Just a minute, Elizabeth. Am I on this list?
Stefan Muller. That's you, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
War Precautions Act. All names listed here as enemy subjects are required to report to the police station at noon tomorrow.
Oh, look, this is ridiculous. My husband is naturalized. He's an Australian. This is absurd.
Don't argue with me, lady. Tell the government. But until you change their minds, he reports tomorrow.
For what reason?
To answer questions. To do as you're bloody well told. Look, mate. Be there, or you're in trouble. Inspector Lucas. He'll tell you why you're here.
Sir? I hope you understand English, because I'll say this once, and once only. You are all registered enemy aliens. You are required to swear a solemn oath, not to take up arms against Australia or the Empire. Anyone refusing will be arrested.
Sir,
No questions.
Sir, surely a mistake has been made.
Gerhard hat ihn
Half the people here are naturalized.
There's no mistake. Since you raised the matter, the government's position is that this makes not the slightest difference.
Am I an enemy alien?
No, you are not an enemy alien. You and Heinrich were born here.
Well, our name's still Muller. At least mine is.
Oh, stop it. Carl? Sorry. I wanted to go with him. He wouldn't let me. He said I'd get too angry. I tell him his trouble is he doesn't get angry enough.
Next. Name. Come on, mate, we haven't got all day. Name.
Stefan Müller.
Hands on the Bible. You, Stefan Müller, solemnly swear never to take up arms or engage in any activity against the best interest of this country or the British Empire. Say I so swear.
I so swear.
Louder.
I so swear.
Next. Name.
Franz Mengler.
Hands on the Bible. You, Franz Mengler, solemnly swear never to take up arms or engage in any activity against the best interests of this country or the British Empire.
You have sworn an oath, and don't forget it. From now on, you are all officially prisoners of war.
Wir sind Kriegsgefangene. Was meinen Sie damit?
Shut up and listen! The government is prepared to be reasonable. You are all granted parole. You hear? You understand? You're on parole. You can go home.
For how long?
For as long as you behave. Any trouble and you'll be interned.
Without trial.
Sergeant, what is that man's name?
My name is Gerhard Rau.
Well, you listen to me, Mr. Gerhard Rau. We don't need trials. All we do is revoke your parole.
If that's your so-called justice, you should be ashamed of it.
Your friend has a dangerous mouth. Take him home and see that he keeps it shut.
What else did Elizabeth say?
That she was frightened. She's never said that before.
What's up, missus? We're at war, ain't we?
Yes. But that doesn't mean we have to behave like animals.
Done. Why are they arrested?
I warned you, mister.
You destroy the freedom of the press. I spit on you.
Arrest them!
Put the bastard in the bag.
told him not to play the hero. They won't let me see him.
Come on. You're staying with us. In you go. She's staying with us.
Sleep at their place. Keep an eye on it.
Carl, wait.
Yes? What do you want?
May I see Inspector Lucas, please?
Inspector's a very busy man. It's Muller, isn't it?
Yes, Stefan Müller.
Wait out there.
Please, tell him it is important. I came about my friend Gerhard Rau. I know he was stupid and unwise. But it was in the heat of the moment.
He spat.
Yeah. Not at you. It was a gesture.
Was it?
He's a good man. He means no harm to anyone.
I see.
If there's a way you could give him another chance. Or if I could stand bail for him. My wife agrees. I would pledge my vineyard as a surety.
You would you?
Well, if you'll release him.
No chance, squarehead. Not a bloody hope in hell.
Who else may I see about the case of Gerhard Rau?
Nobody.
A higher authority?
You've seen me. That's as high as you get.
I'll make a promise. If you release him. Not he, nor me, nor anyone will make the least trouble ever again.
Your friend's been shipped to Torrens Island prison camp. He'll stay there till the war's over. Now push off and don't let me see you again.